Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Crew. I'm Laura, and today let's talk about what you need to get started. So don't go away. If you walk into a quilting shop or a fabric store, you've got Joann's or a Hider Hangout or the so-and-so, any number of places. You walk in, you're likely to go, I don't know where to start. And if you haven't started yet, if you're new to this, you're likely to get really overwhelmed. So the question I see most often in the quilting groups on Facebook are, I'm new to this, I want to learn, what do I need? Basically what you need is thread, a needle, scissors, and some fabric. But I don't think we all want to do this, by hand, because trust me, that's what our ancestors did. It was quite a thing when Elias Howe, first invented the sewing machine. So today what we need, first and foremost, is you're going to want a sewing machine and electricity. I like to stick with the same kind. So this one is a Brother Laura Ashley CX205LA. It's just your standard sewing machine. It's electronic. We have a number of different stitches. I use my foot pedal. I do like my 1/4 inch piecing foot. One of the reasons why all of my machines are Brother is, number one, all my feet can interchange. I don't have to buy 2 or 3 versions of each different foot. And I do have 2 embroidery machines, and they're both Brother. That way I don't have to buy multiple copies of some designs. This way they're all the PES version. Yeah, if you're not into embroidery, you need to know that your Viking and all your different kinds of embroidery machines are all going to have a different format in order to embroider. So I would recommend sticking with the same kind. I really like my Brothers. Other people swear by Bernina. Then there's other, they've all got their own little ones that they like. So before you buy a sewing machine, go into a store like Chattanooga Sewing here in Chattanooga and test drive a couple. And there are some shops that will give lessons, and you can learn on theirs and see what you like and what you don't like. I like the automatic threader. That may not be a big thing for you. So there's one, is your sewing machine. You need to have a flat surface, and you're going to need a cutting mat. Now you can have a variety of different cutting mats. I have a big one on my table, and it is a self-healing. And then I also have my Omni Grid. So I've got a pad for ironing and pressing on this side, and then a cutting pad on this side. So if I've got little pieces, I can just, right here by my machine, don't even have to get up. You do need an iron. Doesn't have to be fancy. My husband bought me this one, and it is the Oliso iTouch. So it's flat down. And then when it raises up when I let go of it. And so that's really neat. No more having to worry about it being up on its side, and it's been really awesome for me. I would recommend also a Rotary Cutter, and I really like this one. This is a Fiskars. It has a little safety button. I can't open it right now. So if I drop it, it's not going to cut me. Okay? Open it up. And when I squeeze, the blade comes out. Again, if I drop it, I've stopped squeezing, which means the blade has retracted. If it falls and lands on my leg, my lap, the cat, it's not going to hurt. Well, it might hurt a little, but it's not going to cut and cause a lot of problems. I strongly recommend a safety rotary cutter. And you will want to have some additional blades. This one is so easy. You just unscrew it, and then you carefully take it out and just put in a new one. And it does need to be cleaned every so often because some lint and oils and things get in there. The oil helps the blade to move, and of course lint from the fabric. So, sewing machine, iron, someplace to iron, so an ironing board, and a cutting mat. And then a straight edge. Now this is probably one of my favorites. It's the one, it's like a go-to for me. It's 2.5 inches by 18 inches. Now I have a bigger one that will go the width of the fabric, which is normally about 42 inches, but it's folded, so that makes it about 21 inches. I do have another cutter that's a ruler cutter combo. Don't have to have that. You don't have to have all the little goodies and gadgets. And you're going to want some pins and a pin cushion. I like the longer pins, what they call quilt making pins, and they've got that nice yellow, so they're easy to see, I think. Don't iron over them, you'll melt them. And you don't want to sew over them. You want to make sure you've got extra needles and bobbins for your machine. For just general sewing, I use universal needles. And then of course it depends on what your fabric is. If you're going to be doing blue jeans, you're going to want to get a blue jean needle. If you're doing knits, you're going to want what they call the ballpoint. Those are specialty. I think there's some for leather. I just get the universal, usually about the 70, sometimes 80. And you want to change those fairly regularly. If you do a lot of sewing, you're going to want to get those changed. I have found, and I will have to tell you, many years ago I thought this was the stupidest thing in the world to do. Now I'm going, it's not so bad. So what I've done is I ordered some pre-wound. I haven't had any luck with those side winders. They just don't work for me. So I ordered some pre-wound bobbins. I have a total of 96 white and 48 black. They're in the correct bobbin size for my brother machines. So all of my brother machines are going to take this. And just to be on the safe side, I got the 60 weight. Because the 60 weight is what you want in your embroidery machines. So I can use this same. And that's my choice. If you want to buy, like the Brother specialty embroidery thread, awesome. It's going to tell you it's number 60. And that's what my little box says, is number 60 thread. It's in the right bobbin. This may not be for you, but I tend to use a lot of white, a lot of black. This way I don't have to do a lot of threading, filling of the bobbins unless I'm using a special color. Now, I'm in a weird situation. For me to get set up to sew, to cut with my myasthenia gravis, I'm worn out by the end of that. So we keep my sewing area up ready. It's so ready. I can come down, boom, there's my table over there for cutting. I've got my little desk here with my rotatable cutting mat, my little ironing board, got my machine, I have my pins, I've got everything where I need it. I have a little basket back here that's full of fabric and ready to go. You may not have that luxury, but you're going to want to have a nice flat surface and one that's sturdy, because you really get to rocking on this, it's going to shake those little TV tray, tables. And you don't want kids running by or dogs or cats knocking it over. So have yourself a nice, steady place to work. Have a nice chair that's comfortable. If you've got really short legs, you may want to put your pedal up on something so you can reach it better. If you've got really long legs, you may want a taller chair. You may even want to stand. So let's recap. You're just getting started in sewing. What do you need? Basics. Sewing machine, thread, needle, bobbins. You need a pair of scissors. You need pins, a pin cushion. You need a safe rotary cutter. You need some of these straight edge rulers. I wouldn't get the wooden ones because your rotary cutter could cut them and then you don't have a straight edge. And that's going to dull this and then you're going to have splinters. So I would get these nice quilting rulers. And to start with, just get one or two. As you find you need things, you can always go back and pick up one or two things. You need an iron for pressing. Doesn't have to be fancy. A good cutting mat. I like the self-healing. I like the reversible one, so you've got different colors. And I think you're good to go. Oh, fabric. Yeah, you need fabric. You don't have to go and buy the Kona and the Moda and, like the $12 and $15 a yard fabric. Walmart's Waverly collection is pretty good. A lot of times you can even find some things at yard sales and estate sales. So there are a variety of places that you can get them. You can get some on Amazon. Tuesday Morning has got some different pre-cuts. You should be able to get started without a lot of investment. Your sewing machine, there's going to be some because you've got your sewing machine, your mat. There are some specialty items. And don't skimp on your rotary. Skimp on your sewing machine, skimp on your rulers. Don't skimp on your cutting mat or your rotary cutter. And you don't have to have the huge one to begin with, okay? You can start small, but get a good one so there's no accidents and, no blood spillage. So those of you who've been asking what you need to get started, I hope that this has been helpful. I hope you have found a little bit of, whew, I don't have to take on a second mortgage, If you find you love it, you'll upgrade. And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't feel like you have to spend thousands of dollars to get started. It's taken me a long time to get all my little tools and my little gadgets and things. Any of these items that I have shown you today, we'll put links down in the description. So if you're looking and going, ooh, yeah, that's the one that I want, just click on the link and you can find it. It is an affiliate link. If you click and then you buy, we get a little bit back, and that kind of helps. So thank you in advance. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. Can't wait to see what you're working on. Look for us on Facebook under Sewing and Crocheting for Beginners, also at Crazy Dave's Crew, and then our website, cdcrew.com. We are still ramping up for that, a new relaunch with lots of new categories, and I am looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. We love pictures. We love to hear from you. I love to hear what you're working on. Love to find out that you've been inspired. makes my day. It really does. So thank you all who have done that in the past, and I look forward to hearing from the rest of you. Have a great week. Try to find someone to inspire. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.